Welcome to Sage Against the Machine. I forget that's on. The podcast where we talk about local politics and the most niche podcast ever. We talk about Akwesasne and cultural stuff. Maybe we'll have some solutions for the pollution.
Yeah, that would be good.
I'm Joshua. I'm here with
Isaac.
All right. What's new, man?
Oh, all kinds of stuff. We haven't done this in a long time.
I know. We're going to put them out regular.
Yes.
That was a month ago.
Yeah. Well,
more or less.
Yeah. Like, I had my revelation, though, last week. Remember when I sent you this stuff?
Yeah, the big long paragraph.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, by the way, anybody who ever wants to message or text with me, I write novels.
Yeah. Just going to save it. Save it, run it through ChatGPT. It'll be the book.
Yep. I don't know. I'm long-winded.
Yeah, so there was an election recently, sort of.
Kind of.
What happened?
It was a shit show. So the basic rundown is MCA held a general election for the district chiefs and grand chief. And there were, some people are claiming there was more than 120 voters who were turned away at the poll because they weren't on the eligible voter list. But there is no denying that many people were turned away from the polls. So obviously that could skew the election results. And you had, I think it was about 14 appeals were filed challenging the results of the election, rightfully so. And so then the Election Appeal Board for MCA held hearings. And mind you, it was 2 days. That's how much shit was brought up during these things. And so being the good reporter that I am, I attended both nights and was thoroughly disappointed, embarrassed, ashamed. And to be quite honest, I kind of had an inkling, or I kind of had a feeling like I didn't even want to write the stories because it makes us look really terrible. I mean, almost incompetent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way a band council fucked up.
I mean, honestly.
On its most basic function.
Dude.
That they've been doing since 1899.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, it was.
When they were put in place by force.
Yeah. Yep. And so essentially what happened was, the eligible voter list was fucked up. And, and I had helped somebody with, before with an election law challenge, kind of had to bring that into it. And so I was a little familiar with it. And, I have a little bit of a legal background. So someone asked me to help out with this. And so I did. And I'm getting like deep into the election law, and I just start seeing like there's holes all over the place.
Oh, really?
Inconsistencies. I think that I had mentioned to you some of them, the thing with that like there's a provision within the election law that the Akwesasne Election Appeal Board, they can either partially set aside, fully set aside, or dismiss the results of the election. Well, there's a problem in there. If they set aside the results, there's no procedural mechanisms laid out for what to do after that.
So there's no words in the paper on what to do if this happens.
Yes, it's just we're going to have a new election. And I think you probably saw the announcements from MCA.
I did.
Right?
I saw there were 19 appeals, 14 had merit. And then I saw that I noticed the holes that I didn't read the whole law because
nerds like me will do it.
I guess, but I assume I guess it's kind of like the cannabis control thing. I assume your first step was to see what exists already, and you would just kind of look through that
logically.
And why reinvent the? Maybe I'm lazy.
No. I don't think so at all.
Why reinvent the wheel, especially for basic stuff?
Yeah.
Like every Elks Club has an election.
Yeah.
Every Masonic lodge.
Absolutely.
Toastmasters.
Yeah, there's
D&D clubs.
bikini contests.
Yeah.
I mean,
I assume this is something that's gone on for maybe thousands of years. So we probably worked out as humans, like what's the best course of action. Akwesasne is not that big. We love to tout our numbers, but our numbers equal a small town.
yeah. I mean, total, if you count both sides, it's where we had about 9,014 or something like that.
If we count both sides, they're saying 18-ish.
There's no way. I mean, it could, I guess it could be.
More or less. I think we have a lot of double counting,
For sure.
but we're roughly the size of the town surrounding us.
Yeah, because I know that in terms of membership, the tribe talks about that a lot, is 16,000 members.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that's not inclusive of the non-natives and stuff who live here, of course.
And they also have like maybe 1,000 that live off territory or live like far away.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could see that being. I've just always noticed, like, it doesn't seem like you get a truly consistent count. And I mean, honestly, this. Our people are not exactly hot to take part in a census.
One thing I did, this was in 2005 when I took a class. The Canadian side, what they did is count the houses because you can see those from the air.
Right.
So and at that time there on the Canadian side, there were something like 2,500 houses. So if you extrapolate 4 people per house, it's probably more.
Yeah.
It's probably more, but that's like an average.
Sure.
So we'll just take the national average.
Wow, 2,500 houses.
This was in 2005. I'm certain there's more people now.
No, absolutely. Because when you drive around, when you go down
Fort Covington's half native.
Yeah, that's true too.
Messina is getting there.
Yep.
Cornwall has a lot of native people.
Yep.
So we're not all on territory.
Holy shit. You know what I saw in Messina? Well, a few weeks back now, but I kept thinking about Sergi's pizza rolls. And so I called Trombino's and I ordered some food because I'm a fat boy. And so on that traffic circle, right, I'm over there because that's next to where Trombino's is. There was a fucking homeless dude, like legit with the cart. Yeah. And I had a couple times I had seen people out like near Walmart, you know what I mean, with the sign.
Yeah.
Asking for money. But this was legit. Like this dude was like, he set up shop.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Cornwall, it's a problem.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Cornwall's a lot bigger, but
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't something that I really necessarily expected to see in Messina.
Start walking, but it gets cold.
Yeah, I know. Shit. Well, I don't know. Fucking trees are already starting to turn.
It's weird because it's also 95 degrees out.
Yep. It's very weird.
It's definitely not human-made climate change. No way.
It can't be.
It can't
How
be.
could it be?
It's just a natural cycle, man.
And if you're not watching this, we are definitely using heavy amounts of sarcasm because it is fucking human beings who are causing all this trouble.
I have 3 air conditioners in my house.
Well, I'm not saying I'm immune. Like, I have no fault in this. I fucking keep my ACs running pretty much all the time.
I burn tires just to move the climate down.
You're an accelerationist?
Yes, I'm going for it. I like the heat.
That's pretty fucking
I'm going to bring
good.
Florida here. So back to this election.
Okay, so during the testimonies that were put forth, you saw a pattern. You definitely see that there were problems with the eligible voter list. You hear that there were problems with even the nominations.
I saw the nomination because I know people who have lived in St. Regis their entire life and weren't on the list. Whose parents were running in it and are voters.
Yes.
Like for me, I get why I wouldn't be on the list.
Yeah, for sure.
But people who would be on the list.
You would think. And like, I don't want to name any specific people when it comes to those who were turned away. Even testimonies given during the hearings, because I wrote about it, so I'm gonna stick to the standards that I use there. So when I'm talking about people during this, the only actual names I'll give are for the officials. You know what I mean, or board members, whatever. But so there was when I was first told that this one individual community member was turned away from voting in Snai, I even I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, this guy is so well known. I think I had told, who it was. And anytime I told somebody that this person was turned away, every single person was like, what the fuck? And, we can get into the discussion about same day registration and, whatever, all of that, which is valid. But at some point it becomes common sense. You're working the election and that this person should be on the list, or they're an eligible voter. Now, I do understand why when you're working, as part of the election team, you want to adhere to the law. And, my experience in the legal field, I also agree with that. But I also think that, there does come a point too where it's fair to say, isn't it just reasonable to allow this person to vote?
Yeah, we're not such a big place that you can't know people.
And how it goes, that like each district votes,
for each district.
Yeah. And like everybody in Snai knows everybody in Snai.
Yeah.
Same thing down the village, on the island. It's the same thing. It's like we live in Roosevelt Town. Like we know pretty much everybody in Roosevelt Town and Racket. You know what I mean? Like,
right. You know who's from here. And and we could figure out bank cards.
Yeah.
We could figure out like biometric readings on our phones. It doesn't seem like complicated that we have a database driven back end with a finger scanner or a BJ's. They can make you a card day of.
Yeah. You can go to the tribal clerk's office in the new, what the newer enrollment cards look like for the tribe.
Yeah. I can do it on email.
Yeah, Summer can just print that right off for you.
Yeah, I can do it on email.
Exactly.
It's great. I don't understand why the Canadian side's not the same.
I was just, you know what I mean? Like I'm listening to this and I'm truly, I really was like, I'm not being hyperbolic here. I was truly embarrassed. And I think that, there was that feeling and, there's palpable anger as well, which is understandable. And so there, people are turned away from the polls, and some of these folks are well-known former district council chiefs. Mm-hmm. This is, these well-known business owners here, just people who everybody knows. And, like I said, I do understand you want to adhere to the rules of the law. I get that. But, and that's okay. But then you come back to what the real problem was here, and that was how the entire election was administered. Mm-hmm. The process from start to finish was fucked up.
Yeah.
And, so I'm listening to the testimonies, and I urge everybody to go to Indian Time and read the articles that I put out there. They have I'll toot my own horn. They're good, and they explain things pretty well. But, so ultimately, I'll just talk about a few of the things that stuck out to me. One was how the eligible voter list was curated. So, there was a new chief electoral officer this cycle. And so, obviously there probably is going to be some sort of, growing pains or, from that transition from someone who had been doing it forever and, to someone new. But one of the major problems was, and this, I think this was the genesis for everything really, was the eligible voter list. And what you see from the testimonies given at the hearings was that and this is what, I pick up from listening to this from the election workers and the CEO, the chief electoral officer, is that there were many fingers pointed. Nobody took accountability. And, so with the eligible voter list, what was claimed by the current CEO is that there was problems. Now, she gave multiple reasons why the eligible voter list was fucked up. But there were a couple of things that stuck out to me that I did put in the articles. And one of them was a technology problem. So what she said was that there were files and stuff that were in the prior CEO's, document cache for, the computers, and that they didn't all, she ended up not having access to all of them, which,
okay,
that can happen.
That can happen.
But
I mean, if you have a good backup process and stuff with files, it shouldn't happen.
And I don't,
especially when you have a highly paid computer team.
And I don't personally, to me, and because now I can give my opinion on this, I kind of felt like it was trying to, put some of the
pass the buck a bit.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I don't think that.
I mean, technology can be a problem, but again, it's institutional because it's like they have an IT department.
Yes.
If shit's janky here, it's because it's just me and I'm building a porch while I do this.
Yeah.
And I'm teaching yoga. There's just me. if a wire is screwy, because it's just me. But if you have an entire department whose entire job is files and backups and movement.
And that's why I believe that, it just seemed to me like that probably wasn't their fault. I kind of think it was trying to play blame game and spread it around.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, right, isn't it whoever's, I saw the apology from the director, so I guess that's ultimately on them. But weren't they new as well? So
yeah, and I mean, it's it's fine. Do the apologies and
I don't care about the apologies. Fix it.
Yeah, just fix it. It's I mean, that from the Longhouse. It's like, okay, you acknowledge that you fucked up, but we're not gonna just focus on that.
Yeah.
Your apologies are great. Fucking fix it.
Right.
So that's that's where. That part comes in. And I appreciate that, the new executive director over there apologized, but
if they weren't ready, why did they have an election? Why didn't they wait?
That's the $100,000 question, right? And that's, that's what I came away with.
Yeah. If you're not ready and you can't do this right, let's not do it twice. Let's just postpone it 2 months. And, seems like in 2 months you could probably get it together. Well,
you would think, they knew the general election was coming up for years, right?
Oh yeah,
you know when it's scheduled. Yeah. So, it's like if you're going to change CEOs and you're looking for deputy electoral officers to work the election and security and such, you would think that you would really have this planned out months ahead of time, and it did not come across from the testimonies that that's what occurred. So it's like you see it that way, and it's you naturally have these questions.
I mean, I guess you're embarrassed. The libertarian in me is like, I expect this. Like I expect the colonial government to do those, like the decolonizer and the libertarian and just the gritty DIYer in me kind of expects this sort of thing, as particular out of that kind of institution.
I can see that.
So, and it's not like I want people to suffer. It's just like, dude, how long?
Par for the course.
Yeah, how long are we going to keep doing this and being like, yeah, we'll fix it?
Yeah, I get that. I do.
So it's not just to like fiddle while Rome burns.
Well, what
you
the fuck?
You like that one?
All right, Caesar. That actually wasn't Caesar.
Nero.
It was Nero, yeah. But I mean, yeah, so I get where you're coming from. It's just that I do, and I think you as well. I mean, that we all carry Akwesasne with us.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
I don't want people to suffer that much.
No.
They should suffer a little.
People should be held accountable for this. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think, obviously, it starts from the top down. And that's the way that it has to be.
And that kind of, if you have a hierarchy, obey your hierarchy.
Yeah. And they love hierarchy.
They do. They love calling themselves the leadership.
Yeah.
They like to write on every piece of document, we the leadership.
And that's, so it's good that the new executive director Mose, issued the apology. That's good. Because how rare it is to see either council acknowledge when they fuck up.
Yeah. Usually it's like beyond our control.
Yeah.
Or somebody else.
Yep.
I've even heard people at the top say, well, that's not me. And it's like, dude, you're at the top.
Yeah. Who else is it?
There's no other head to roll.
Yep. It's you or some mysterious person pulling the strings behind the scene. I mean,
it's Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. Holy shit, that fucking story's getting weird again. But yeah, so that happens, and I see Teresa Thompson, who was the chief electoral officer when she testified on the second day, was definitely trying to spread around the blame. And at one point, there was a person who testified that works for MCA and clearly was trying to distance themselves from having any part in this. And I agree that person, it wasn't, they weren't running the election, but they do have a part to play in it. And
well, if you know it's broken and you say nothing,
right,
you're part of it
until the hearings happen.
Yeah.
Now, this person did say that they had made, and that was confirmed after, after subsequent testimony came, what that person who works for MCA said is that they made suggestions about security of, registration forms and all of that stuff.
I saw that. So was that a separate thing? So there was
that was a
voters
too.
list, and then there was the security, too many steps.
Yeah.
Between the names and when they get counted.
When it would get on there.
So what happened there? So
there was a problem with, there's Schedule G and Schedule H, I think, where if you're not on the eligible voter list, then you have to go get the papers, fill them out, and then hand them in so that the chief electoral officer can read them. Mm-hmm. There are places where you go and drop those off. So the chain of custody for those papers was not sufficient at all. You had multiple accounts of community members who, and I have no reason to disbelieve them. I am 100% sure they were telling the truth, that they filled out these papers, handed them in where they were supposed to, and then during testimony, I don't know where they are. And that is a complete and total failure in terms of chain of custody for registration papers. I mean, you are failing these people in the most basic democratic value to vote.
Right.
I mean, it's ridiculous. So that was one of the major problems. And when you see the CEO testify, that's, another thing. She acknowledged that was a problem. And going back to what you had said earlier, these problems were known in the lead up to having the election itself. Why didn't anybody step in and say, wait a minute, stop right now, and let's figure out what these problems are and let's fucking fix it? Because it's absurd. I mean, it's like the fucking gang that couldn't shoot straight. I mean,
bunch of Indians,
fucking clown shoes. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I'm not saying that running an election is easy or whatever, but
the Shriners can do it.
Yeah.
the
Hawaiian Tropics can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep going back to the fucking bikini contest, but it's the only ridiculous analogy I can make.
Yeah.
Right at the moment.
Donald Trump can do it.
He can try to steal it. It's not really absurd. And when you think about it in totality,
I always assume incompetence before malice. Almost always.
That's exactly what this was.
And that's what I suspected.
I
did notice some interesting things from the election.
Well, I think I know the one that you're specifically talking about that I wrote about.
No, mine's the numbers.
Oh, okay.
I noticed how many people from Snai vote.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people. So my mother grew up in Snai.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Snai people were known for speaking Mohawk.
Yep.
Which they were looked down on for, by the way, back then.
Yeah, back then, sure.
Back then, and for being poor.
Mm-hmm.
And now I noticed that they're possibly the largest district of the entire res.
It's awesome.
It's like,
dude, I love Snai.
Almost twice as many people voted from just Snai than in the entire tribal election.
Mm-hmm.
Almost twice. It was about 600 and something people voted in the tribal election. It was like 1,300 people from Snai.
It was. See, it's not necessarily 1,300. It's that they can. Okay, so everybody can vote because there's 4 chiefs from each district. So you get 4 votes.
Oh, you get more than one vote.
So it probably was like around
retarded.
4. Cool. Yeah, but it still was probably like 400 or 500 people just from Snai voted.
Yeah.
You know, would be my estimate. I think that's fairly close.
That seems more reasonable.
Yeah, but still, that's a lot of people. And
I also noticed that they would have had a grand chief from Snai had they not run so many people.
Yes. And you know, I'm giving much love to Snai. Like I love the way that the people down there they speak up, you know, and the shit that they have to deal with is really infuriating. I've been invited down there, you know, for multiple meetings and people who are actually fighting to stop, say, the 20-year-old referendum to go forward with the land claims. I mean, to me, what I see when I'm in Snai is that those people down there, they will speak up. They'll speak up. They'll speak out. They'll get right into it. And I really love that. It's so refreshing because I tend to skew towards mostly paying attention to the tribe and the politics on the American side. But having been, you know, invited and for some people down there to hire me to do certain things, I have really grown a great fondness for Snai. And it's really a goddamn shame that I think, you know, and most of these problems happen, like the largest number of problems happen in Snai. And what I think is a good thing that'll come out of this is that with new nominations and a new election, I think people kind of see, you know, what.
Yeah, I can't be the only one who noticed that.
No, there's definitely. I'm not saying that I have any inside knowledge of the political maneuverings that are going on in Snai, but what I can confidently say is that I am pretty goddamn sure that there is some political maneuverings going on based on the realities of the vote totals that we saw.
Yeah. I appreciate people who will speak up and not just like get defensive.
Yes.
Because there's other people I've talked to who they get defensive when someone's critical.
Yep.
They get defensive, not just against me. Like everybody knows I'm pretty
outspoken.
Outspoken and radical and probably not very. I probably have like
just a little bit
oppositional defiant disorder.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably.
I think that's probably what this show came from in the first place, because we both have serious problems with authority.
Yeah. Although if you read our history, that is a trait.
It is
known amongst the people.
Well, that's the thing when we talk, like when you say like the oppositional defiance stuff. The thing is that I view the way that you and I approach the show and the way that we speak about things. I just think that it's the things that we're in opposition to and want to fix are logical things. It's totally rational. You know, it's based in logical thinking of. That is a fucking problem.
Right.
So let's say something and fix it.
And I don't necessarily, I guess as a person with a very strong DIY ethic and very close to the land, a little suffering probably does people good.
Yeah. And
a little struggle. And so if we have to tear down the walls and live in the rain a little bit, you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, people would say, well, it's nice for you. That's why I was present when we were when the customs was moved off the island, I saw it as an occupation.
Yeah.
Right. I said no, it was an occupation. Is it a problem? Yeah, it's kind of harder now.
Right.
But it's also we've moved our occupation to the North Shore.
See, you and I we never talked about this before because I was totally opposed to moving it.
Yeah, I saw it as an occupation that you had to go through, and if that created hardship, well, you see where I live. I live in hardships. So that's okay.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I understood the reasoning behind it and all of that. It's just that I probably had some selfish reasons why I didn't.
All the cigarette people didn't want it to move.
Yeah, that's what you know what I mean.
It made smuggling a little bit harder.
It made it to the point where like I would.
The drones.
I don't want to incriminate myself.
The drones would have done that too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Saved a lot of people from jail.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Saved a lot of cars from getting seized.
Yeah.
And
I do condone smuggling, but
so do I.
As long as it's not like gross.
Well, yeah.
Like the
human smuggling?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
The trafficking.
I don't think that's that outrageous to say, right? Is anybody going to disagree with me on that?
I mean, the people that get exploited. I'm against the exploitation.
Yes.
The fact that people want to come to the U.S. to work, I think there should be just an easier way to do it.
So do I. But I mean, and like we've all been seeing the rise of, it's actually an interesting thing with the legalization of weed. You see a growth, an increase in the amount of smuggling going on of aliens.
Yeah.
So
you also see with the prisons are closing, and they're trying to relate it to violence and this, but prisons are closing because people are there's less prisoners.
I mean, when you stop locking everybody up for stupid fucking shit, like that they shouldn't be locked up for, you're gonna have less prisoners. I don't know what to tell you.
It's half of what it was in the 90s.
Jesus Christ.
Things are getting better all over the place.
Well,
except in Gaza, not better there.
No, actually, we should talk about that too.
But we actually care about them now.
Yeah,
that's something.
Well, yeah, more people do.
More people do.
A lot more.
The algorithm skews it for sure.
Definitely.
I've gone into the history and I'm like, oh, I've been lied to about Arab people.
Yeah.
I mean, I should have known, but I looked into it deeper and I just looked up things like the Balfour Declaration and the British Palestine Mandate, and figures like the Irgun and Haganah that were terrorist organizations. Yeah, and I'm like, oh my, we've been lied to.
Big time lied to. The myth.
Just because it says it in the Bible doesn't mean it's true too. Guess what? The Bible's not real.
Yeah, exactly.
It's as valid as Lord of the Rings.
I think that I don't want to shit on it. I'm not shitting on Christianity.
I am.
I know you do, but I actually see it as I view Christianity as I do any religion. It's like, it's a set of beliefs. There are good things in there. The interpretations that people come away with on what's written in this shit is fucked up at times. But, I don't see anything wrong with having a set of values that are laid out that you agree with, and to believe in a higher power, like not necessarily a higher power, but believe that there's something bigger than you. Because I do believe in the Creator. I do. I think that there's something that, where did this all start?
Yeah.
Unless the simulation thing, Elon Musk's thing.
Yeah, it started at Elon Musk's computer.
I don't like thinking about it too much because
then I switch the computer off.
I'm telling you, I don't like thinking about it too much because it gets to the point where I'm like, fuck, that could be true, right?
It could be true.
It could be.
But it's turtles all the way down. It doesn't matter either way.
Yeah.
And that's where you don't get attached. Don't get attached to the reason or purpose. Do you dance for a purpose? Sometimes you just dance because you want to.
Yeah.
And the universe is just a dance.
Yep.
It's just a song.
Fuck. And you really go dark and nihilistic.
And if you listen to Tolkien, it starts with a song.
J.R.R.?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Of the way better book. It's better. It's the best book at England ever. Way better than James.
Which
James'
one?
Bible.
The Hobbit?
All of them.
Oh.
The Silmarillion.
You know what? Everybody let's be real. The people who are huge fans of Tolkien are nerds for the most part. Mm-hmm. I'm a nerd. You're a nerd. But I have only ever read The Hobbit and the trilogy, the main trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, I've never even read The Silmarillion.
Yeah.
And, like, when I talk to another, like, Tolkien, like, fan, they'll look at me like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you don't understand shit about the world. You don't know anything about Middle Earth.
Get your lore right.
Yep. It's true.
So they're going to have another election.
Yeah, so they're going to have another election. And I did want to hit on, because we're talking also about, you brought up the expected failure, the expected incompetence of things. Well, there's another baked in thing to any kind of hierarchical governmental system or bureaucracy, whatever it is, because humans do this no matter what. I mean, animals do it. They're, you know what I mean? Some animals, they run in packs and there's a hierarchy, and humans tend to do the same thing for the most part. It's very rare to see. Well, I guess you do have truly collective societies like in Asia. You know what I mean? Like Singapore and, you know what I mean? Like much more than what you would say here.
I think you have like in hunter-gatherers maybe.
Well, that's...
And then you can't really get an advanced society without capitalism, like what we call materially advanced.
Yes, and I don't mean... And yeah, I'm speaking more towards not material things, but for justice, essentially, and fairness of society in general.
I guess in a more homogenistic society, you end up with more harmony, like say Japan.
Yeah, and that's
Singapore. Although they are also quite authoritarian.
Definitely, and Singapore was the one that I thought of right away because it
looks like the future.
Dude, it is so cool looking and it's clean. So Singapore is the one that always comes into my mind first because do you remember when that American kid
he got his ass
beat for littering
as
or
he
whatever?
Should have.
And as he should have. And it just makes me think of that because like they take that shit seriously. We're keeping our shit clean. You be respectful of our public common spaces and don't be a dickhead or we're going to fuck you up a little bit.
Well, I think it's just so people often equate society and government, and they're not the same.
No, absolutely not.
And society is not made by the government. You don't get freedom from the government.
No.
It doesn't give you freedom.
No.
And you don't get your society from the government. And people seem to think that being a government means legitimacy, when in fact all the government is the ones who have a monopoly on violence.
Exactly.
Or the legitimate use of violence.
Look,
That's all they are.
I'm telling you, like you and I have been talking, I know I've been telling you, and there's another guy that you and I have talked about who's also a libertarian. You fucking libertarians are starting to get to me. Like I'm actually skewing more. Actually, I think what I realized is that I am more libertarian than I realized I was.
Probably a classical liberal.
Yeah. Like, I mean, well,
that's what
I go very progressive on the economic stuff and, but what I like about the libertarian ideals is that, and like I haven't studied it like you or this other guy or Dave Smith.
You haven't read Rothbard?
No, hey man. But I just, in general, like the light
Ayn
stuff.
Rand?
Yeah. Oh God. But just in general, I'm saying is, the principles of be who you want to be. If you're not hurting anybody, and that's in guy no go, do no harm. I mean, obviously there are situations where you are going to cause harm. Humans are going to, rise to conflict at times. But in general,
well, yeah, those societies we're talking about, there is societal enforcement of rules, not just rules, but like what's the word? Like the cultural practices.
Yeah, it's their cultural norms.
Yeah,
such as they do.
Such as like when they sit on the subway and they by necessity they have to be close to each other, so therefore they have no qualms about it.
Yep.
And we can, as America, I don't know, America's fucked.
America's fucked, yes.
Yeah, but like our community is a place where we can change it. That's the, like always
that's what we were.
Yeah, and that's my argument. Because sometimes why do you want it this way? Like from myself, like okay, because I realized if tomorrow I wave my wand and we have traditional people now in charge, nothing will change because it's the same people ultimately.
Yeah.
And what we need to change is within ourselves and healing and all that stuff. And that's why I work with young people and I do yoga and things like that. Cause I think those are practices that lead to Guyana Lagoa.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I was going somewhere with this tangent.
The awakening of the human.
The awakening up the human, the real human being,
the humanity.
Yeah, and when that happens, but we can also at the same time do active things. Like the Freedom School doesn't come out of nowhere.
Right.
The Longhouse itself doesn't come out of nowhere. The fact that every one of our colonial governments now pay lip service and put real money.
Yes.
Real money.
Serious money.
Serious money at traditional teachings and cultural practices. Like that is something that is the culmination of the activism.
Yep.
And it's easy to lose sight of it.
Sure. Especially once you get comfortable.
Yeah, but like also like looking at things, we just assume that deep assumption that the white people way is right, and I don't mean that by their race, but by their culture.
Yes.
And we just this election proves we do it their way, but we do it badly.
Yes.
And maybe there's another way to do it that might work for us.
I mean,
maybe it won't.
Well, I mean, when you say like we do it badly, perhaps that's because we're not supposed to do that. That's the way that I tend to think about it. I don't like. I'm not saying that us holding elections in general is certainly a thing that's bad. I mean, in the whatever people want, you know what I mean? Like you just throw bad out for everything. But I'm just saying there should be a way for people to express who they would like to see be administrators of the programs that are being run here,
and be willing to tear things back to the foundations if they need to.
Yeah.
For like, my mother used to work at Mohawk Council. It wasn't much different then, and that was 35, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So they had the same issues.
Yeah.
This means it's built in.
Yeah, it is.
So we're not going to fix those issues with one guy from SNI.
Nope.
And one guy from it's not going to happen. And some people might, I don't know how deep corruption goes as like a not very corrupt person.
I suspect things, but there's no way I could prove anything.
Corrupt me. Send some money my way.
Yeah, shit. I'll work for Donald Trump at this point for the right amount of money.
Just not as his bodyguard.
What the fuck, man?
Because you got to get shot. He dodges bullets, but you're going to catch one.
I am not taking a bullet for that orange motherfucker. There's no way. Holy
our job is to take a bullet for this guy, but we're not going to climb on a roof because it's slippery.
Oh my God. That's fucking funny, man. You should use that in your act.
I'm gonna.
Fuck, that's a good one.
I'm saying he's a mutant, man. He dodged that bullet like Neo.
That's exactly.
He is the one.
That was exactly like.
Apparently, God wants him alive.
How many other people were watching who saw what happened and thought Neo immediately?
Yeah.
Because if you didn't, you know what I mean? You're either probably old or too young to have watched The Matrix.
And he took it like a champ.
He did. Yo,
I don't think I could get shot in the ear and then stand up and be like, yeah.
You know what? He hit that moment so perfectly. That's why, like, I don't buy into the fucking conspiracy theory about it. I just don't at this point.
It's too complicated.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's not possible. I just, like, go based on the evidence that you have.
It's too complicated for too little reward.
Yeah. I mean, to not kill him.
Yeah.
Like, either way, like.
If there's a conspiracy, it's like the Secret Service let it happen.
Which would probably seem the most likely
if
there was a conspiracy.
But for what?
Why do, who really wants Trump out of the way that badly? Like, I don't buy into the liberals, they get pissed at me because I don't buy the whole, if Trump wins the presidency, democracy is over. I don't buy that
Well, they
shit.
say that for weeks and weeks and months on end, and then wonder why someone takes a shot at him.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we can't have political violence. These are the people who call in airstrikes, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
and
I, for one, agree with political violence. I think these fuckers' lives should be at stake.
I I'm not advocating for, just rampant political violence, but when people say that political violence has no place, that's not true.
You call someone a king and someone tries to behead him.
Yeah, you should expect that that's going to happen, especially amongst people who believe that they're free.
Yeah.
That's just, that's just the way it is.
When one of your founding principles are occasionally the tree of liberty must be watered with the blood of tyrants. I remembered it.
And I think that that's pretty true. It's now don't get me wrong. I know that the U.S. did the coup to get Gaddafi out of there, but there certainly were a lot of people who were willing to do what they did to him.
You have to have enough of a population willing to,
and they had enough. Now, granted,
and it worked out real well in the end.
Yeah, I know it's all fucked up now, but it was before.
They have slave markets now.
Yep. But all I'm saying is that I do believe that political violence has a place. There's a reason why it happens.
Sometimes you don't get an election right.
Yeah.
We got to.
I do not want anybody from.
That is comedy. I'm a comedian.
Yes, and I'm just an idiot who laughed at a joke.
I'm just kidding. We can just.
This is not serious.
We could just fire people.
It's a serious topic, but that was clearly a joke.
So now they get a do-over.
Yeah, so now they get a do-over
with data. Now you have data. Now you have data of each district and who they're looking at.
And I think that when you look at that data, that you're seeing, you definitely see patterns, and I think you're correct. If there were 4 people from Snai who were running. Wait, Leonard, Connie, Minnows, and April, right?
I guess.
Yeah, April's from Snai, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did I say Leonard?
Yes.
Okay.
He had the most votes.
Yeah, and
he would have won if those others if just one of the other candidates had not run.
He lost to, I think he lost to Eddie by like 30 votes.
Yeah,
roughly.
It was very low.
If the people just from Snai hadn't been turned away and they voted for him, he would have won.
I think the whole thing was a conspiracy to stop Snai from rising.
There's actually some people I've talked to who believe that that's true. I'm not kidding you. And
they are people. I do think there is that culture still exists in the older people to look down on.
Yeah,
Snai for whatever reason,
and it really it does irritate me
because those people don't like Indians, and Snai are the most Indian.
It's kind of hard to argue. How many people how many people do you know our age that grew up in Snai who speak Mohawk, who grew up speaking Mohawk? It's
a few, not many.
Well, I'm saying
more than elsewhere.
Yes, more than elsewhere by far in any other part of the res. You know, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So so they get their do-over, and so we'll see what kind of political maneuvering goes on, but we keep going off topic because we're awesome, and we have hilarious and insightful things to say about other subjects. Illness. Yeah, mental illness. But there was something when we got into the tangent about governments and, hierarchies and such, there was another thing that particularly bothered me that I heard at these hearings was there was a particular person who comes from a well-known family who found themselves to not be on the eligible voter list. This person, and now mind you, when you go to nominations and stuff, I didn't go to them, but this is what I gathered from hearing the testimonies, is that there is paperwork there that you can fill out to make sure that you get on the eligible voter list. And according to the law, you can't nominate someone if you're not on the eligible voter list. But here's the thing. The only way you can really put that together is because there's a contradiction in the law. So there's another section that says, so here's how it goes. You don't have to, it says in the law, you don't have to be on the eligible voter list to nominate someone, right? But for the candidate themselves, both of the people who nominate them have to be eligible voters.
Okay.
Now, you know how stupid that sounds. Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous. And I'm like reading this and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how much and everybody who's familiar with our politics and how our laws are written, most of the shit comes from lawyers from the outside, you know? And,
Yeah.
And I agree. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel for most of this stuff.
No, I just use ChatGPT myself. ChatGPT, write me an election code. Give me the Roman one.
But the thing is with all of that is that you expect these people to actually review it and be able to see these contradictions and these flaws in the law.
Well, yeah, you're getting paid to do that. That's what's, I don't know, it grinds my gears.
Yeah.
Like, especially in the arts. The arts, you're always asked to do stuff for free. And you have all these people who, you know, they get paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, you know, full living and their only job is to do this.
Yep.
Why are the people that are just doing it as a hobby doing better at it?
Yeah.
That speaks volumes.
It does. Because I think part of it too is this, it actually, I think kind of this can kind of tie into my thing about this particular problem that bothered me so much is that, you know, so you're there, you're not on the eligible voter list. They have papers for you. You can fill them out. You can hand them in. And then the process is supposed to go that they get reviewed by the CEO. And then you would get placed on the eligible voter list if they find that you are an eligible voter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happened in this particular instance was that this person from a well-known family went to go nominate someone. Apparently, they weren't on the eligible voter list. So they testified that they filled out the papers that are required, gave them to the DEO, but this person made a call to the CEO, the chief electoral officer.
Oh.
And over the phone.
He knew a guy.
Yeah, they knew a guy.
Yeah.
And over the phone, she was placed onto the eligible voter list. Now, you know, I mean, to me, that is blatant favoritism.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's gross.
Yeah, you're not doing it. And the whole thing seems dumb because, like, it's as simple as a database.
Yes.
You have a database of your membership.
Yes.
And a database of their most recent address.
Yes.
I get it. Somebody moved yesterday. You're not going to know until they tell you.
Sure.
I get that. But you could also cross-reference to where they lived. So they are still in the system and they still have an ID.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you show up with your ID.
Yes.
This is easy.
Base this shit on OVS and the membership list.
Yeah. Now, if you want to add to it, hire a company that does biometrics and you have a thumb scanner.
Hey, I'm cool with that.
You do it with your phone.
Yeah. I mean, anybody to say, you know how many people probably use the thumbprint on your phone?
I use mine every day.
Yeah, I can't anymore because I have to put one of those glass, like the big ones, because I dropped this fucking thing all the way. No.
Oh, you've dropped yours.
Yeah, I just dropped it so much I had to put the thick one on there, so I can't.
Yeah, and this is us with consumer goods.
Yes.
We assume that they have access to better.
Yes. So and that's the thing is like I don't believe that there's any reason why we couldn't do that or whatever. So
I'm still in favor of using our phones altogether.
So am I.
Imagine what election would look like if you just had it on your phone.
Everybody would vote.
Yeah.
And you would actually have people who form that silent majority who would probably actually vote because it's right there in front of them. Because, I mean, honestly, let's look at it realistically. It's a pain in the ass for some people.
Yeah.
You know, it's held on a Saturday or whatever. They don't
at a particular time.
Yeah. They don't want to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Some people are working.
Yeah. So I understand that. But so that really, really irked me.
You know, some countries take a national holiday on voting day.
Yeah.
Everybody's off work.
And
everybody votes.
Yeah.
There's that. There's the tribe. I lost this one. I actually voted this year.
Yeah.
For
good.
Unfortunately for Sugar Bear Sunday, and I should have put William Sunday. What I wanted to vote on was a referendum. I didn't really give a shit who won. But
if it's not you or me, you don't care.
Yeah, basically. Well, I only care this much anyway about the system, right?
Maybe I care too much.
But the referendum question was, what was it? I voted that the nominee should not have to be present. I would like to change that because here's the thing: the person who wants to be a chief shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. That's
how
it is in the law. Well,
yeah. The person who wants this fucking annoying job shouldn't. They will abuse it.
Mm-hmm.
I will abuse it for what I think is right to do. I definitely will. It would probably work out well for people.
Right.
But there would probably be a lot of ruffled feathers. I might get in a fist fight.
See, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I always get the feeling people don't believe me when I say this shit, but I wouldn't do that job, take that responsibility just to benefit myself. I really wouldn't do that. And I think you know me well enough at this point to know I wouldn't do that. And that's not why I wanted to do that when I ran.
I just wanted millions of dollars to build cool houses.
That's the thing is that, at some point, if you really want to try to change the system and how things run, then you either have to influence enough people to back someone who will do that job that would, implement those policies, or you do it yourself.
I'm also a fan of individual effort.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing is, if I was independently wealthy, I wouldn't bother with it at all. I would just, if I won the lottery tomorrow, these ideas you'd see things change.
Oh, you mean because you would actually do them yourself?
I would just do it myself.
That's exactly what. Yeah, I mean, if I hit the Mega Millions and I what I mean, like we'd build our little compound and all that shit, but like I would honestly use most of the money to give back into the community.
Yeah,
build those the buildings that go up and can act as full homes for families.
In these towns surrounding us, instead of demolishing what's left. Yeah, instead of demolishing what's left of our natural land.
Yeah, and that's what I see as like a major difference between the way that you and I think about it and the way that most other people would handle it.
Yeah,
because I do believe that you would also not just hoard all of the gold.
Yeah, I'd have no need for it.
You're not smog.
Yeah, I just don't want much.
That's a nice reference for all of you nerds.
No, I'm Glaurung. So, I just wanted to vote. I think the nominee should not have to be present. That way you can nominate someone who...
Yeah.
Would it be cool if we elected people against their wills?
That would be kind of funny, actually.
And I forget the other... There was a couple other questions. There was one I got. Like, I voted...
There was one for if there's no other candidates that were nominated.
They just go...
And I don't like that, actually.
No?
No, because that essentially does away with any shot of write-in to win.
Oh, that was the other one. They wanted to get rid of write-ins.
Mm-hmm.
I said, no.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
Because... And those two things, they contradict with each other, because if you don't have write-ins, then that kind of assumes that if there's no other nominee that you're not going to have write-ins. So I don't agree with that. You should have write-ins.
I'd put none of the above on the cat.
Did you?
I would.
Oh,
like if I think the U.S. election should have that. I think it should be none.
Like Brewster's Millions. Don't vote for me.
Yeah. It should be none of the above, which means you have no confidence in who they're running.
Yeah.
And they have to run another election if that wins.
And then let's see how many people say that. You know, I mean, which would give you a pretty good idea of the position of the community on how well you're doing as a government.
I mean, the thing is, we can fix our systems. The U.S. is fucked. I don't see a way without like some kind of major disruption to change the two-party system.
I agree.
The entire system.
Because that idea of incrementalism is just horseshit. It's never gonna get to the point where working class people actually have a way to get that American dream. That's just, it's not possible at this time, because the wealth is concentrated in the hands. And I know people who are listening to this have heard this fucking ad nauseum, but it's the truth.
It's true. And the libertarian would say, the dumb libertarian would say, it's not true. Yeah. They're providing more value. Some people are providing more value, but also they're exploiting people through the power of the corporation, which is created by the state.
Yes.
The power of the corporation is created by the state. The corporation is part of the state. It is not, if you had your libertarian paradise, there would not be corporations. There might be co-ops. There might be some other way to collectivize ownership, sure. That's all a corporation is, right? Collectivized ownership of a
Yes.
property, which is fine. But it's also reducing the risk of the shareholders,
Yes.
which allows those institutions to do things like poison entire rivers.
Without having any consequences
No
of
consequences
significance.
to the owners. Imagine if you as a shareholder of Alcoa now had to directly pay out of pocket the damage Alcoa did to the river. And at one point, whatever $1 billion it would cost to put the Grass River correctly, the way it was when they touched it.
Yep.
I don't understand how this is environmental is a liberal thing when really it should be a conservative thing.
It should be a humanistic thing.
It really should be, but it's a conservative point of view to
It's ridiculous.
put things back the way you found them. It's
Yeah.
law and order, then it's justice.
Yep.
I don't understand how this became like the lefty when it's not really.
No, and I agree with you on that. It doesn't make sense, And the other guy who I talked with, who's a libertarian, we were actually talking about this very thing we're discussing now, and because I know libertarians don't like all of the regulation, right? And I actually agree with that now. I've evolved my thinking on this because when you look at these regulatory bodies, they don't fucking work.
Right.
They really don't work.
Yeah, the EPA just gets...
They hire the fucking guys who were poisoning the water.
Yeah. And the fines are so low, they're really just the cost of doing business.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. And I brought that up. Oh, actually, great movie. Everybody should watch Dark Waters.
Okay.
It's Mark Ruffalo's in it.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome movie. And that's a true story.
I mean, from my libertarian position, the Alcoa thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alcoa should put the Grass River back the way they found it.
Yeah.
And if that bankrupts the company,
I don't care.
that bankrupts the company.
Yep.
Don't worry. The factory will still exist.
Yep.
They will auction it off, probably at a loss.
But another company will come in and run that.
And they won't do that to the Grass River because they don't want to go out of business.
They don't want to go out of business either.
And that's kind of the way I see environmentalism, like that. Like,
So do I.
And all the way to the ocean level.
Yep.
So
Yeah. I mean, it's
not that I don't care about the environment. I do care about the environment.
yeah, me too.
Because caring about the environment is like also caring
About humans.
Yeah.
And animals.
And how we work interrelated.
Which goes back to Guyana-Lagoa.
Yeah.
I mean, that does. It's,
Yeah.
that's just the natural way of life, and we're fucking it up.
So
Those things with, like, that stuff about the fines, that really fucking bothers me because, and, like, the other guy who's the libertarian, we were talking about this, and, we both understand that those bullshit fines that they give them, like somebody will be, people will say, oh, they got fined, $170 million. That ain't shit to them.
right.
They actually put money into an account to pay for these fucking fines. They know they're going to come.
Yeah.
They know that. And $170 million is not going to affect them. You know what would affect them on a company that clears $1 billion a year? $3 billion.
Right.
That would hurt them.
Right.
That would hurt them.
It's like I was listening to Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan parks his car wherever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a ticket. He just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I get a $250 ticket. That's the cost to park here.
Yeah.
And that's for him. That's not.
It's doable.
It's doable.
Yeah. I didn't know he does that.
Yeah.
Kind of an asshole move, but.
Yeah. I don't know if he does it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what was his deal worth? Like $100 million or something like that with Spotify? And now he's getting a new one, I guess, right?
Probably.
And
that doesn't even count like his investments.
no, in his comedy
he
club.
owns a part of On It.
Which one's on it?
On It's like a supplement company.
Oh, okay.
Workout company. Yeah. So stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. So I mean, it's just, you know what I mean. It's all kind of bullshit. And then you see this stuff leak into what we're doing, and I talk a lot with other people about cronyism, and that's what that thing that was testified about getting on that list. That to me is like it's textbook American cronyism, and we have adopted it.
Yeah.
So like you were saying earlier. It's true. We've just adopted these systems, but, in a lot of ways, we do it worse.
Yeah.
I mean, the cronyism that you see go on in the federal government
right.
doesn't get usually uncovered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't. Here, you see it, and it was like fucked.
The federal government can do insider trading,
Yeah.
and it's okay.
Yeah.
The Congress can. There's a reason why they're all multi-million.
Yeah, that's why they go in with,
I got into wrong
they're worth
business.
like 50 grand and then they walk out and they're worth 20 million. I mean, have you ever heard of unusual whales?
No.
So you should check them out. I don't know if they're still kind of doing the same thing, but what they used to do was kind of track like the good fortune of like Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, her returns on what she's investing in were just far above the average for.
Well, everyone was
your
kissing
normal
Hochul's ass just the other day. Meanwhile, she's fleeced our people for how much money? The
Yeah.
Senecas for how much money?
Yeah, 250.
$500
it was $500
million.
I thought it was two. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, she bragged about that's going to pay for the Bills' new stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, she fucking like just out in public said
Fucking
that shit.
gangster.
Yeah, that is gangster. That's some John Gotti shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is your governor.
So this is that's why people, how does this relate? And it relates that we can do our part about the environmental thing here. We have more power locally.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And we don't have to follow the rules. We can make the rules. And clearly the rules aren't working for what we have.
Yep.
And there might be some hardship involved in that.
Sure.
That's okay.
I mean, there's that saying, I don't know, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but you learn more from mistakes than you do from just getting it right every time.
Hopefully.
I mean,
we'll see you 2 months.
Yeah, that's there. I was told that they're saying it could possibly be up to 10 weeks before they do it again. And I'm like, that's absurd. Like I could get that fucking election done in a month.
Yeah.
I think so. But
challenge accepted. You're new electoral CEO.
Well, I'm just saying if I had the right people to work with, I really believe I could get that shit done really quickly.
I just do a meta poll. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean,
get all your Facebooks. Get all your Facebooks.
Yeah, the Twitter polls.
Yep.
Those are so reliable.
So we'll see what's happening. If people don't notice, we have a little backdrop for you. I think we might need a little lighting in the background there if we're going to do this black thing.
Yeah, but I'm so pale. Look at my face.
Yeah, maybe we'll put a white sheet back there.
Oh, shit. Then I'll just blend into it. If I close my eyes.
I think it'll just get dirty looking real fast.
Yeah.
I could do the green one, and then we could put all kinds of weird stuff behind you.
Oh,
except you have a green shirt. Yeah, it's right over there.
Oh, no shit. Cool. Yeah, let's put it up. That would be fun to fuck around with.
But you have a green shirt on, so you'll just disappear into it.
Yeah, I know. But I don't always wear green.
So we have a website. It's not done yet.
Yeah, we should start.
We have an Instagram.
I should start putting up some. Yeah. Just so all of you listening know this, my wife has decided to kick me and Josh in the ass to get us to do more shows and take more initiative on trying to grow this show out.
Yep, and it's 88 degrees in here.
Yeah, I know. I'm glistening.
I'm going to get central air next year, maybe.
Fuck yeah.
If you sign up to our Patreon once I establish it.
Isaac won't be sweating like this and have a red fucking face.
Yeah. So Working Stage Against the Machine. I'm Joshua.
I'm Isaac.
All right. See y'all later.